So it looks like we're just going to get into Rogue versus ByuN. Again, Dark is out of game, but I'm not too sure what the score is for his series. Whether he's finished or whether he's continuing on versus Armani. Regardless, I definitely wish them the best of luck. And we'll see if we can sneak into their series afterwards.
Yeah, that will absolutely be ideal. Hopefully hopefully the series Dark versus Time doesn't go on or doesn't end too quickly. Hopefully we can get into that. And I would have to imagine that Dark versus Time, I mean, we've seen it in the past. It's a pretty close series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I nod my head along. ¿Qué pasa? Spreche. Pass along. We're now cargando en el mapa en el que estamos cargando el E, que significa lamas enchiladas, desovando en la ubicación en la que desovamos. En la dirección en este mapa tenemos al jugador terreno de color que viene de Corea. Actualmente no tiene equipo representado, así cachorro, el propio Rey Fantasma tenemos ByuN.
That was amazing.
Oh.
God damn it. Oh my god. Y aquí tenemos en la sección superior de la mapa. Oh god. Ahora de los muertos tenemos el Zerg, tenemos el coreano. Todos creen que Enki es el más hermoso, pero no, te digo que no. Aquí tenemos el más hermoso de todo el mundo. Tenemos representando equipo Hiner Green Wings. Él es Rogue.
Santa Maria!
I'm calling you out, Enki. Oh my god. So I guess to explain that a little bit, there's a Spanish caster called Enki. He actually casts every single GSL in Spanish live. And there's a meme that he is the sexiest caster out there. And to be honest, like, he's pretty it's pretty accurate. But you know what, mate? We got another sexy boy here. We have Rogue himself for potentially the first time, or maybe not the first time. I think we did see him in IEM Katowice here on this channel.
Yeah, casted him in the qualifiers way back when. I still remember that skills game.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But yeah, you know, who got the last laugh?
Ooh, almost ByuN got the last laugh there, as he was able to delay that third base, was almost able to deny the gas as well. Did it once, but not quite twice. So I love this. Like, it feels like every single game he's getting more and more aggressive here with this Reaper.
Yeah, it kind of feels like he has to be coming up against a player like Rogue. You really don't know what he's gonna be throwing out there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we didn't really get to touch on it, but Rogue, he's a world champion, but he's also like kind of underrated. It's not necessarily his fault, but like, it didn't help that GSL season 1 this year. Let's bring this back. Rogue's not gonna like it, but if people remember, Scarlet cheesed him out of the group stage.
He did. That was glorious to watch.
Yeah, Scarlet just clapped him on Everdream and knocked him out of the group stage of GSL, and no one saw it coming. Everyone was like, what is going on right now? And because of that, like, he's kind of been in the dark. Like, we just haven't been able to see much of him.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
As in the last season of GSL, another thing happened that nobody really saw coming. Dark, consistently a player who has been beaten by Rogue. Took him out. Actually took Rogue out.
Yeah. Dark and Rogue, they were in the same groups. I believe it was the round of 16, the group stage of round of 16.
Round of 16.
Yeah, it was. So again, Rogue is a player that we haven't seen much of this year, but he's such a good player. We'll see how he does here against someone like ByuN, as he is going across the map. He is, you know, coming in here with a couple of Marines and these Hellions as well.
Yeah, trying to be as aggressive as he can. Nice little bit of juggling right here. But it looks like Rogue does have the positioning that he needs to really deflect this. No armory out, so this is straight up just a bit of an interesting Hellion Reaper sort of push with that medevac support.
Yeah, definitely. Like, oh my god, this is so risky. He's going to try and drop into the main base, but look how low that medevac is.
He does have a boost light. Yeah, the medevac is so low, he does have a boost, but Rogue is not reactive quite yet. He saw it. Okay, the Queen is now moving in, and there are a lot of Zerglings out here right now. Picks up the medevac is still alive, Light. How is the medevac still alive?
Jesus Christ, somehow, some way the medevac is still alive. And again, I'm also shocked as well because that medevac was in Overlord vision for quite some time and Rogue did not react whatsoever to it. The Queens, they stayed over on the third base location just to make sure the rest of the army didn't deal too much damage. And in the end, Rogue, he was able to defend, but ByuN able to keep that medevac alive.
Keep that medevac alive, keep his Hellions alive, and now he's going for round 2. ByuN really taking the map control this early on, but I mean, I'm just looking at the army of Rogue right now, and it's not like Rogue can't turn this around, right? Okay, well, it's most of this army supply is in Lings, to be fair.
Yeah, Rogue, he's just doing Zerg things, right? He's just trying to defend as best he can. He's trying to drone up. He's taking his 4th base. He's getting double Evos, getting all his gases, getting ready to ramp up. And I'm really curious to see how Rogue is going to play this out because we know all about DRG. Like, DRG is all about the mutas, you know? Solar, he's all about, like, the more European style, like the Hydras into Lurkers. I'm curious. I want to see what Rogue is going to whip out here in this ZvT.
When I think of Rogue, I think of Nidus. It's what I think of.
Fair. But yeah, like we do have obviously Lingbane, but I want to see, is he going to throw down the Spire? Is he going to throw down an Infestation Pit and go all full dark, right? And go straight into Hive? Or is he going to throw down that Hydra Den?
Yeah, we'll have to take a look, and it will in fact be that Spire coming out from Rogue.
Oh, yes it is. Meanwhile, we do have a big Ling run by, and it looks like he'll be able to kill a couple of Marines. More importantly, he is able to deny or delay this 3rd base from landing. Oh god.
Yeah, even getting into natural over here. Main looking a little exposed, but Rogue does not even have to go into the main. It was not exposed at the end. Pretty well done here. And really good drone drilling as well coming out from ByuN.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like he, exactly, he barely lost any workers. He was on top of the wall, the front door at his main base, able to raise it, making sure the Lings didn't get in. Rogue is just being annoying here. I don't. Yeah. All right.
So you want to build a? No. You don't have a permit, ByuN.
I love it. He's denying any kind of structure from being thrown down there and getting a little bit of vision at the same time. Meanwhile, ByuN, he still kept all these Hellions alive. They are still here across the map, trying to deal whatever damage they can. I will say that ByuN has done a really good job at kind of keeping the creep spread at bay. Like the creep is only just connecting the bases for Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, that's a benefit of getting the map control this early on as a Terran player. ByuN is really able to just halt the expansion of Rogue as best as he can. Even though he may not be getting a lot of damage done, he is preventing Rogue from growing out of control.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, it's so difficult to try and spread creep because there are just Hellions all over the place, waiting for those tumors to expand so they can immediately get roasted. And here we go. Here's the push coming out. As soon as those rocks go down, we have all the Hellions turning into these Hellbats.
Yeah, what we're seeing is there is only one medevac, and I mean, Rogue has seen this with his Overlord. So he is getting ready to respond. He has a decent amount of Lingbane coming out right now. The mines connect on a lot of the Banelings. Rogue really trying to make a couple now, and ByuN will be forced to retreat because he doesn't know how recent those Banelings were made.
Yeah.
How fresh they are, shall we say.
That was close because at the end of that, Rogue only had one Baneling left. The rest were being morphed, and yeah, ByuN, he didn't want to roll the dice. He didn't want to try and stim on forward into Banelings, so he does back off, does play it safe, waiting for some reinforcements, waiting for more Widow Mines.
There's a mine under the Queen.
There is.
All planned. Just want to tank that damage. Oh, the Lings moving in without the Banelings. A little unfortunate. Rogue trying to go for a bit of flank, but not quite working out. He did reset the Hellbat count. which is something. And now he realized, you know what? I'm this far on your side of the map. May as well make use of it.
Exactly. You know what? ByuN may have had an opportunity there to continue to push forward to that 4th base, but you know what? This big counterattack is forcing ByuN to run all the way back home to defend the Lings, the Mutas. They didn't really deal too much damage, but they did, you know, force ByuN back. They bought him some time.
That they did, and ByuN being a little indecisive right now, just being pulled back and forth between the Zerg army at the moment. And that buys Rogue quite a bit of time. I mean, he's got more Banelings now, 11 more on the way.
Oh yeah, we have a exactly. We have a big Baneling run by being set up, and ByuN, he's trying to get a wall up and running, but it's not going to be done in time. Meanwhile, ByuN is pushing across the map. Still more Ling Bane already ready to receive the army of ByuN.
Yeah, it's interesting that ByuN has decided to really besiege that position. 8 SCVs going down. I mean, the run by has been dealt with, but still 8 SCVs. It's pretty expensive. Baneling's starting to roll in. Really good split from ByuN. Not really wasting too many mine shots either. And yeah, it's interesting that ByuN has decided to besiege this position because it is a basis up a map. It is really hard to. It's also really hard to try to pressure the Zerg player to try to push down this ramp.
Yeah, and you know what? Rogue did push down. He was able to deal with everything, even able to take out some of these medevacs. Ooh, does take some pretty heavy Thor hits with the Mutas, but you know what? There's enough on the ground to clean up.
Just about, and now look at the army supply. That was a fantastic mine hit, but Rogue still far, far ahead in terms of the army supply.
Exactly, the drones of Rogue were left untouched this entire game. Rogue was immaculate when it comes to his defense. Sure, his creep spread wasn't amazing, but you know what? It was just enough to connect all his bases so Rogue could keep everything alive. And now Rogue, he is on the other side of the map, you know, keeping ByuN at home. Nice SCV damage was done, and Rogue, he's on 91 drones.
91. May even be a little excessive for Zerg.
Yeah, let's make sure he doesn't pull a DRG and get like over 100. Like, calm down, buddy. But 90, like that's insane. Like, he has all the drones he ever needs. He's working on Hive. He's working on +2 flyer attack. Like, Rogue, the only thing he's really lacking is that creep spread.
Yeah, but it's I don't think he really cares right now. He is pushing out so far off a creep. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite him, as ByuN, this is exactly what the Terran player wants. He wants the Zerg player to be far, far off creep so that they can just, you know, micro their own army as well as they can against Mutiling Bane. I guess Rogue has kind of realized that as he retreats.
Yeah, he's not feeling too confident to push up a ramp into ByuN's army despite the massive disparity in supplies, and this is really giving ByuN an opportunity to get back into this game. He has to be careful because there are some Baneling run-bys, but ooh.
There was a Baneling run-by.
Juicy Widowmine connection. Speaking of mines,
right yeah, borrowed Widow Bane.
Oh my god.
There's another mine! Oh, quick split right at the end there from Rogue.
Jesus Christ, I love it. You know, ByuN, he's like, look at this open wall. Look at this unfinished wall. It's so vulnerable. Jokes, there are Widowmines here to defend. There's an army as well. It's kind of a bait, if you will, for Rogue to go for those Banelings. And again, so far, ByuN, he's been able to defend well enough to catch up in terms of supply. Yeah,
for now, anyway. He is at about at the 70 SCV count, which is acceptable for the Terran player, but that also depends on how many bases he's got, how many mules he's going to be dropping at any given point. Mutas come in, and they do not care about the turrets, but they should care about these Thors. Widowmine apparently got taken out over there.
Oh, yes, it did. And Rogue was trying to pull apart the army of ByuN. Nice was able to distract ByuN with the Mutas in the main base, was trying to go in with a massive run-by into the fourth, but ByuN, he was ready. He had plenty of army. He did not lose much at all.
Yeah, honestly speaking.
No.
Now, Rogue is still sort of holding the pseudo-contain. He is still keeping ByuN back here. It's one mine.
It's not even gonna... I'm pretty sure you need 2 Banelings anyway to, like, kill Marines, so I'm not too sure what's the point of that, but ooh, nice Widowmine connection once again.
Yeah, really taking out a good chunk of those mines. For the first time since the start of the game, ByuN is ahead in the army supply. We'll see how... what he does with this. I mean, does he start pushing out, or does he double down on his defenses? I think for the Terran player, those really are the 2 options.
Definitely. I think what it's really going to come down to, oh my god, there's so... oh, but he should see it because of the sensor tower, right?
No. Sensor towers don't see borrowed or cloaked units.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Rogue didn't realize. Rogue, you have an opportunity here. Rogue, you have an opportunity here.
Oh my
Rogue, you have
God.
the opportunity.
Rogue, please, you know what? He doesn't even care. He's got so much army. He has enough to just barely deal with what he has here. Meanwhile, goes for a massive link run by in the natural.
This one, these two Marines body blocking as well as they can. ByuN actually holding the line again, taking out so many units from Rogue.
Actually forced to cancel as well.
What?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, like ByuN was on the back. Like there was a point in time where ByuN was down like 70 supply. Like like he was so far down. And meanwhile ByuN, oh god, he has been able to hold so well. He reacts, he pulls the SUVs away so the Bailings don't deal any damage whatsoever. And now ByuN, he's looking so in form. The thing that's concerning is that obviously Rogue, he has been able to spread his creep. He's connecting, he's like getting to halfway across the map. He has ultras as well, working on those upgrades, so he has that tier 3.
Exactly. And what has ByuN got? Marine, Thor, Medevac Mine, a couple of Marauders here and there, but yeah, not quite gonna be what he wants against those Thors, unless by some miracle he's able to isolate them.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna say earlier that it's gonna come down to whether ByuN can establish a 5th base, and you know what? That's what he's doing. He's expanding over to the north, and if he gets that 5th up and running, like he's gonna be looking so good. Again, Bailing's trading against Marauders. That's not what you want to see.
Not at all. Or maybe it is when you're Rogue right now. Because he's got these ultras. He's looking to make sure that he can make as much use of them as possible. Really good split coming out here, but not going to be quite enough. And these 3 ultralists, I almost said Marauders. They're the Zerg Marauders. That's what they are.
Oh my god, but the ultras, they do turn around. There isn't enough there to continue to push into the planetary. Meanwhile, Rogue does go for a Ling run by, and he does slip in, but there are reinforcements to deal with it.
Yeah, along with these mines, really good concave coming out here from ByuN. The Thors really putting in the damage on these ultras. And I mean, as long as the Thors are free to, you know, fire upon the ultras, as long as you're not really being attacked by Zerglings and what have you, they actually do pretty well against them. Yeah,
and the problem is that ultras are so expensive, and you need to like kind of slowly ramp up in terms of how many you have. And Rogue just threw away 3. Like he reset his own ultra count doing that, and now he has to slowly get a couple more, and it's so difficult to do so. They're so expensive as a unit, and yeah, ByuN, he's just so like I was not expecting that hatchery to go down. Jesus, 3 Marauders. That's all you need apparently.
Yeah, Marauders are new Cyclones apparently. It is gonna take out the bases from the opponents. Again, the Thors will start to go down here. Still a lot of Marauders, and these Ultras don't have much of a buffer. They're still very tanky and very tough, but they were alone. They didn't quite have support.
Exactly.
Coming in though.
Yeah, they were alone, but you know what? The mutas that were across the map, 22 SCVs went down because the entire base went down for ByuN. That's where the focus of Rogue was, and sure, Rogue lost a bunch of ultras for free, but the mutas, they were the ones that dealt the damage.
That they were, and now if you look into the supply, I mean, ByuN, you could say that he's freed up his workers so he can get more army, but he's not mining any gas. He has no bank whatsoever. Look at the mineral count for Rogue right now, and look at how much gas he's mining.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, he just has his half of the map. He has so many Banelings morphed in as well. Doesn't matter how many Marauders ByuN has, how inefficient these Banelings are going to be able to trade, because there are just so many of them, and Rogue's pushing in.
Rogue is pushing into what may be the final engagement. He's getting a pretty good surround. Look at that mine connection! Getting just about half of the Banelings, but now ByuN's being backed into a corner. It's mostly the Marauders remaining, though. Banelings do not connect too well, but Rogue, I mean, what shoots up now for ByuN?
Nothing. That's the problem. Oh, we have a Thor. We have a couple missiles, but the Thor does go down. The repairs weren't fast enough, and ByuN, he holds on, but look at the disparity in terms of that army supply. ByuN, he just doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the economy to keep up with Rogue. Yeah,
no, you know what, like, the creep thread. It's good.
It's, you know what, it's pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. And the thing is that, like, Rogue has been so aggressive this entire game. Like, ByuN, when was the last time ByuN attacked across the map? Like, at the beginning of the game?
Are we counting that rich Vespine base?
That's the problem, right? Like, ByuN hasn't been able to do anything to the economy of Rogue. The last time he pushed that across the map, we were like with his Hellbats at the beginning of the game, and the entire time he's just been stuck at home, and now Rogue has just been starving him out.
Yeah, really winning the war of attrition over here. Rogue has lost a lot of army supply, but again, he can remake that. ByuN really cannot. He is trading so efficiently, but it's not going to be enough. GG is called. Rogue going to be taking game number 1 of this best of 5 semifinals. And you know what I tell you, Light? That ByuN lost that game, but this is some of the best I've seen ByuN play in a while.
Yeah, like he brought it back. Again, there was a time where ByuN lost so much supply and he was stuck defensively at home and he was down solid 50 plus supply, but he brought it back. Like he was like the defensive Terran that you wanted to see. Like Rogue just couldn't break him, and ByuN made a game out of it.
Just some of the best multitasking I've seen out of him. Quite a while. I mean, he's still microing as well as we normally expect him to, right? But he's also backing that up with the multitasking, making sure he can defend here and there. Sure, he had a couple of slips towards the end of that game, but I'm pretty sure any other Terran player would have as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, honestly, it just comes down to the fact that ByuN, he played that out as well as he could have, but he was on the back foot for the longest time, so he never had the breathing room to really counterattack and try and do some kind of economic damage to Rogue. Like, he needed everything at home to defend against the constant Muta harass, the Bailing run-bys, the Ling run-bys. Like, there was just so much coming at ByuN, and ByuN was defending, but the problem is that that's all he could do, you know?
Yeah, it really was. But we'll see if he does anything differently this game. Maybe he realized, okay, last game I need to harass a little bit more, or maybe he thinks, you know what, all in time, all in, baby. As here we are, starting things off, or continuing things off, but it's kind of starting things off because we're still technically in the first half of the series. On Pillars of Gold, LE, holding up the rest of the map, pool single-handedly here in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. The blue Terran player coming out from Korea. He is currently teamless, representing no one but his puppy, the Ghost King himself. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Pillars of Gold LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Jin-Air Green Wings. He is the sexy boy himself. It is Rogue.
All right, and we do have a bit of an update going on here. Dark versus Time is the second semifinals. I felt kind of bad when Time posted a lobby like, anyone want to cast? I'm like, I kind of do.
We do. That's in an ideal world, we cast both ZvTs. You know, like that's what we want. That's all we want. But unfortunately, due to time constraints, they are not holding the lower semifinals. Like both semifinals are being played at the same time, and yeah, we are kind of in the middle of this one.
Which I don't really mind so much, you know.
Yeah.
It was something that the players decided on, and it's well within their rights. They would rather, try to get this done, go to bed, go into a new day of practice and what have you.
Yeah, definitely. I do hope that we manage to get into their series, but again, these are, especially because these are long, right? Like these are best of fives, especially if they're long macro games. Hopefully we can jump into Dark versus Time at some point. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I don't think we've ever seen Dark versus Time in a best of 5, but the best of 3 they've played, my god, they were close.
Oh yeah, they were so close. Time looked so good in his TVZ, and that came into play in DreamHack as well. Like, for those wondering, Time, he did make it to the playoff bracket of DreamHack, and he had quite an amazing series against Serral.
He did, then he almost won. Took him all the way to the ace match. Unfortunately, I didn't quite have time to watch that VOD today, but when I saw that result, I was like, I almost wish I stayed up.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes to show how good he is at that matchup, taking it to the world champion. And yeah, we'll see how he does against Dark in the lower half of the bracket. Yeah. Maybe
that would be. I would love to just lock Time. He has to take out the 4 Zerg world champions: Stu, Dark, Rogue, Serral.
I was about to say that, like, we've got nothing but world champions here. I think Time is the only odd one out, you know, like ByuN, Dark, Rogue.
That's right. But you know what? This is Time's time. this time, Sam.
It can be his time. We shall see, as we are in another TVZ here. We have ByuN himself, and he is opening up quite standard, going for this 1-1-1 opening. We'll see if he decides to go for another Hellion drop that he tried to do against Rogue in the previous game. I believe that's what happened, right? Yeah.
Kind of. He went in with I think he went in with 6 Hellions and Reaper, but he also had the medevac there to aid in his micro, and once he realized, okay, I'm not going to be able to break him from this position, I'm going to lift up 4 of my Hellions and go into the main, which was somehow survived. Still am not over that.
Yeah.
That was almost an eternity ago.
Exactly, and you know what's great? At the moment, Rogue, his scouting has been denied. He tried to sneak a Ling in. He doesn't even have an Overlord outside the main base, so here comes the drop with the Marines. Here come the Hellions, and you know what? The Armory is about to finish up.
I smell fire coming out, Light. It smells like brimstone and sulfur.
Smells like some Korean barbecue's about to go down here. Yeah, I mean, Rogue, he does have, what, 5 queens? He has a decent amount of Lings. Is this going to be enough here to hold? Can he make sure he doesn't lose too many drones?
Well, I feel like the positioning here Rogue can absolutely do something with his positioning right now, but we'll have to see. I still remember ByuN start stepping in his game against Solar. The Marines are a little bit exposed here to those Lings in the back. Absolutely not what you want to happen. Ideally, the Hellbats will be dealing with the Lings. And look at this surround coming in. They do melt, but Rogue, he focused so hard on that medevac that now, I mean, ByuN completely, he's got to find another way to get out.
Yeah, exactly. ByuN, he made a choice. He's like, all right, I've got this army. I'm going to push into the natural. I'm going to try and push up a ramp into Rogue. Decided not to go for the 3rd base, which would have been a little bit easier to deal some damage, even force a massive drone pool at least. But yeah, as a result, it didn't really pay off. Rogue was able to defend quite well.
But ByuN ain't done. Now, I do have to worry because generally in round 2, the defending player has a little bit of an advantage. Especially Rogue, he was able to keep enough of his queens alive and enough of his Lings alive, I want to say. But here comes ByuN, right on top of the heart of the army.
Ooh, transfuses are on point. Looks like only 1 queen goes down in the end, but a Banshee comes to look to try and reinforce, and we'll see if it's able to get some damage done. There is a Spore in the mineral line.
Yeah, already Spore came out, but ByuN is really avoiding that as best he can.
Yeah, he's dealing some damage here and there. 3 drones do go down. Maybe a queen as well. He does avoid it, goes into natural, but
oh no! Right on top of another Spore. That Banshee goes down, and it did take out 4 drones along with it, but yeah, I really think ByuN was hoping to get a lot more damage down, because now he's at a bit of a disadvantage. I mean, where's his 3rd base? Okay, he's getting the orbital command, but he does have a later 3rd base compared to Rogue. He is pretty decently far behind the army, in the worker count, I mean. Tech-wise, he's looking alright.
Yeah, as you said, like, he was looking to do more damage. He was looking to either kill more queens or kill more Lings, or sorry, kill more drones, you know, force mining to be stopped at the 3rd or something. That was a lot of Hellbats invested, that early armory as well, but ByuN just wasn't able to pull it off. We'll see if he's able to do something else to bring himself back, as you said, he's currently down in workers. He does have his 3rd on the way, but you know what? 4th on the way for Rogue.
Oh, that's more than 3. Last time I wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's more than 3.
There you go. That's math.
Education.
There you go. And now Rogue, he was able to defend like beautifully. He's droning up, you know, he's got his lair, he's working on his upgrades, he's got double evos, and Spire, it's already on the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit of repeat of game number 1, except this time Rogue is in a much more comfortable position going into the mid-game, even going to be able to completely scout this army, which gives him the opportunity to go in with this massive run-by. There's only 1 Banshee in the sky right now, Light.
Oh my god, like, there's just nothing here. These SCVs are going to be going down. Rogue could force a 3rd to lift up. Meanwhile, ByuN is undeterred. He has to do something with his army across the map. He does have 2 tanks and all these Marines, and you know what? There's no... Oh, no, never mind. There are Banelings already morphed.
There are Banelings, but they're slow Banes. And these are 2 tanks. They're going to do quite a lot against that amount of Banelings out right now. Really good position on the tanks as well. Going to be able to cover that hatchery, but is there too many Zerglings? The tank's not firing on the Banelings. Hot pickup comes in. And ByuN once again forced to retreat without doing enough damage. Only 4 drones have gone down.
Oof, Jesus Christ. Exactly, only 4 drones went down. The tanks died. I mean, ByuN, he is going for another double drop, which I like this. Like, he has to do something to just keep Rogue busy, and while he tries to catch up in terms of the SCV count, while he tries to throw down the 4th base, catch up in upgrades. Like, he has to do whatever he can to keep Rogue at home.
I do like this a lot. It seems like ByuN has learned from game number 1 and thought, okay, I was defending really well, but the problem is I didn't harass my opponent, and as a result, he was able to win a war of attrition. So now he's going for these double drops, and, you know, getting damage here and there. Oh my god, can he actually kill the Mutas?
Oh.
Can he actually kill the Mutas? Transfuse something different to say about that.
Yeah, does transfuse one of the Mutas. Meanwhile, he's trying to focus fire as best he can. Again, ByuN trading as best he can with these Marines, with these drops, but the one in the main base does get cleaned up. The one over by the right-hand side, by the 3rd base, it does get deterred. It is still here, though. Damage can be done, but again, ByuN, he needs to, like, multi-prong, you know? He can't let Rogue focus on just one thing.
He absolutely cannot. And so he's just sending more and more drops out while he's building his force back at home. He's working on his Thors. Is he going for mines this game or tanks? Didn't quite catch that.
Thors. He only has 1 factory, so he can only make one thing at a time. He's got a 2nd factory on the way, but it looks like, oh, the drop does get forced back, but at the same time, we got a drop going into the main.
Oh. Yeah, but already Rogue was prepared for that. And now there's a 5th base here, so I'm thinking ByuN should be able to at least get a cancel on this.
Ooh, we shall see.
Else. The Mulas are coming in, and here comes the focus fire. There's the cancel. And it's definitely something. Meanwhile, they drop over in the southern position. Not too many units died here for either player. We've been feeling a little bit of advantage here. Oh, he cannot pick up. He cannot pick up into those Mutas, can he?
No, he can. He's just trading as best he can. Like, there weren't any banelings, so, you know, the trade was pretty efficient for ByuN, but he does end up losing the medevacs in the end. And ByuN, his army is looking... it's looking okay. Like, especially with those Thors, like, he can definitely go toe-to-toe with the Lingbane Muta, but the difference is that this time Rogue's creep spread is pretty good. It's already halfway across the map, so you have to be so careful not to get surrounded if you're ByuN.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that he doesn't have any AoE. He doesn't have any tanks he can fall back to, or any mines that can try to reset the Lingbane here. He's really going to have to rely on his micro. He's really going to have to rely on his splits and whatnot. And as you said, with the creep spread out, it's looking to be tougher and tougher, but already a pretty good split coming out. Good concave here on top of the Lingbane. But is it going to be enough? I see a lot of Mutas in the sky.
Oh, those final Baneling connections get the juiciest hits. Every single Marine does go down. At the same time, there is a double drop, so ByuN is dealing damage across the map, but you know what? So will the Mutas.
So they will, but not quite as much. I mean, taking out a turret is nice. Taking out a base is really good. I said taking out a base is really good. Thank you, ByuN.
That's actually amazing. He snipes the hatchery. Could even get the Spire. It's looking to be exposed. But
oh,
you know
get
what?
it.
There are plenty of queens. I'm sure they can transfuse.
And that was a pretty good choke point coming on there, but I tell you what, Mutas do not care at all about chokes. That's why they spit. Or do they spit? No, Hydras spit.
Hydras do spit, and I think the shots also come from the mouth, question mark from Mutas, potentially. But like ByuN, it was really great that he was able to kill the 3rd base. Like, that was huge. Maybe he could even kill the Spire as it slowly bleeds out. But Rogue just has so many other bases. Like, he's all over the place. He's got a 6th base on the way. Jesus Christ.
He really does. We're starting to get to that split map scenario, and ByuN has not even spread himself on the map yet. Whereas Rogue looking really fine, right in the heart of production, with so many Mutalists coming out here, like so many Mutas.
Oh my god. I mean, ByuN, he does have the 2nd factory kicking in, so he is trying to make more and more Widow Mines, which he desperately needs against this Lingbane Muta composition, but it could be too late. The Mutas are just so many of them.
There are an insane amount of them out right now. Pretty quickly approaching critical mass. And ByuN, I mean, he's trying to get some Thors out, trying to get some sort of anti-AoE. I think he really has realized that the Mutas are kind of linchpin right now for Rogue. But I tell you what, ByuN is going to get his 3-3 long before Rogue gets his 2-2.
Exactly.
So this is a golden window right now.
Oh yeah, there is a nice window here for ByuN where he will have a massive upgrade advantage. Will he be able to utilize that though? Because the majority of his army is across the map. These mutas are wreaking havoc here at the third.
That they are taking out a lot of SCVs. The Thor's now out. That does provide a lot of help. Oh, those Banelings didn't quite get much army, but they did get a lot of SCVs. And ByuN not even bothering to turn around.
Yeah, he can't turn around. Like, he has to do like equalizing damage at least across the map, and he's able to kill one hatchery. He's looking to go and kill another, even chases down the drones, which is exactly what he needs to do. There are no Banelings prepared for this bio, for this 3-3 Marines.
Yeah, there's only one out at the moment. This is getting so scrappy, like such a base trait going on. And the Banelings have been taken out. There are no more Banelings left, but the mutas are still very much in play for Rogue. And looking to really just take out these units that start to trickle out.
Oh, exactly.
No Thor.
There is no Thor. It's just a bio. There is one Thor, but it's so exposed. Like, ByuN has to make sure he keeps it alive. It's going to be so important when the mutas come back. Oh, he is able to split just in time against the Banelings, but there are a couple more morphing in.
Yeah, the Marauders to the front, though, will definitely help out. Rogue is being very patient about this. Does not want to push in with his Banelings as of yet. Does not want to waste them. ByuN! Hot pickup coming up. Ooh. And the Banelings once again being taken out. A couple more in the back over there, but 2 Banelings?
That's it.
That is it. They've been taken out. Rogue, his army supply absolutely depleting right now. And this is him really bleeding out. Forced to pull the boys. And he's even got some mines in the back there, just in case Rogue decides to go in for a flank. The mutas are still in play.
Exactly,
but
like
that count is dwindling.
Exactly, like the thing is, it's just mutas, and that's perfect for what ByuN has. ByuN has Marines, he has a Thor as well, and you know what? The Baneling list was taken out. No more Banelings, just Lings, and mutas going to be coming out for Rogue. Rogue is desperately trying to get another Baneling nest up and running, and that's really like his Hail Mary play. That's the only way he can get back into this, is if he gets some juicy connections, but it's not enough.
GG is called. ByuN tying up that series 1-1 after such decisive play going on there.
Exactly. It was so decisive that he knew that he was going to lose everything to the mutas, but you know what? He also knew that he had a massive upgrade advantage. He was 3-3 to not even the 2-2 of Rogue, and yeah, like he just had to go across the map. He had to end the game. That's exactly what he did.
Dived right on top of the face of danger. Once he saw that there was so little Lings and so little Banes there, did not even hesitate for a moment. Jumped right on top of the army of Rogue. My God.
My God, he was able to do it. He fights back, ties it up 1-1, and he was looking in such a bad position. Again, he was down in supply for so long. He was losing SCVs left and right. But you know what? At the end of the day, man with gun OP.
Man with gun OP, especially if they can have a slightly bigger man with a rocket launcher with them, and of course, giant man with giant missiles.
Exactly.
Going along there, and also man with flying heal gun.
Exactly. That's all you need, and that was just beautifully done by ByuN. So decisive. So God, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. And also underground man with explosion gun.
All right, and now like we've got a series. Honestly, I was concerned that it was going to be pretty one-sided in favor of Rogue, but ByuN, no, he is putting doubters to shame. He's tied up 1-1 in this best of 5.
Yeah, really looking to prove that this is his matchup. This is his trial, if you will. His 12 trials. He's given all of his Zerga opponents 1 game each so far. So let's see if the trend continues, or if Rogue is really gonna once again assert himself as the top Korean Zerg player. All right, as we continue on, and oh my God, I'm gonna need to have a drink of water after this. We are loading in onto Jagannatha LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The blue Terran player coming out from Korea. He is currently teamless, representing no one but his puppy, the Horseman of Death himself, the Pale Horseman, if you will, the Ghost King. He is ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Jin Air Green Wings. It is Rogue.
Man, it's been a while since the tournament was so stacked, so stacked that I start to feel a little crack going in onto my throttle wall, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, personally, like the best storyline, the best case scenario, the things that would just the stars would align if ByuN takes out Rogue, and then regardless of who wins or who loses, but he faces Dark in the finals. Like that's what we want.
Nah. That's a pretty good storyline, but here's I'll do you one better.
All right.
I'll do you one even better. Time he beats Dark, and then all of a sudden he comes into this series right in the middle. He breaks the map in right on top of the player's feet, and he just plants himself as winner this week.
That's what he does. He whips out the steel chair, he busts in, he breaks up the players, and somehow, some way, Time is able to take the entire tournament. And it's possible. Again, ByuN, he went all the way to the ace match against Cyril earlier today, less than 24 hours ago. In DreamHack. Yeah, Time. Yeah, it's I don't know if I said ByuN. But yeah, well, like Time, he's looking so good. And again, like Dark is pretty comparable to Cyril.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I think Dark. Yeah. Yeah, actually. But, well, yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah.
You okay?
No, because the thing is, I'm thinking of like how Dark and Cyril play. I feel like they're both. They have similar strategies. It's just the way they get there is pretty different.
Oh yeah, definitely. And to be fair, when it comes to the ZvT matchup, we've seen it so many times. Like Dark, for whatever reason, he really favors Rogue Ravager play, and that's something unique to himself. So yeah, we'll see how Time is able to deal with that. Because again, like you could go toe to toe versus Cyril, but Dark also has his own way of playing out that matchup. But again, I mean, you know, best of luck to Time.
Best of luck, and to Dark as well. Would like to, I mean, I'm just happy whoever makes it to the finals coming out here, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Always someone entertaining to watch here, whether it's ByuN, who is ByuN, obviously the micro king when it comes to at least Legacy of the Void. Time, who you could argue is a bit of the Chinese ByuN, but he also has his own very aggressive, unique builds, especially his mind drops. Dark, the Roach Boy, very, very, he's almost artistic when it comes to his play. And then, of course, Rogue, who is one of the most unpredictable Zerg players this, at this time. Exactly.
There's just so little out on him because, like, he underperformed in GSL, and he rarely plays in these weeklies.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he underperformed. He literally won the GSL Code S this year.
Oh god. But yeah, like Rogue just hasn't had the best of times. But you know, we'll see how he's able to do here this week in ESL Open Cup.
Well, I tell you what, he already denied a little bit of scout going on there, so it's something. But ByuN, that Reaper was not too crucial to his plans. As we see it again, going for that 3 racks.
Yeah, he is going for that 3 racks. He does favor this opener. He did go 1-1 into that 3rd CC, but is delaying his starport, looking to try and hit with those Marines and those 2 medevacs as he's been prone to do. He did it against DRG. He's done it against Solar. Looks like now he's going to try and do it against Rogue.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how good Rogue's defenses are looking. I mean, it's looked pretty good against that Hellbat. Opening that he had earlier on in the series, but I mean, this is a different build coming out here. You know, Marines are a very different unit from Hellbats, and I just have to think back to ByuN's game against Solar. You know, the amount of stutter stepping alone.
Yeah, like it's insane. Like the what he's been able to do, it's crazy. So Yeah, we'll see what ByuN is able to pull off here, especially against Rogue. Like, we saw him just dismantle Solar, or really catch Solar off guard and just surprise everyone. Is he going to be able to do the same against Rogue?
Potentially. I'll say this, Rogue is being very aggressive with his creeps throughout this game, so whatever ByuN wants to do, it's not going to be easy for him. Rogue is going to have eyes just about everywhere he needs them to be.
Definitely. I do like this. ByuN, he's being very active with his Hellions, and he's actually denying a lot of creep. Again, we saw this in game 1 between these two players. He's just so on top of it.
He really is, yeah. That's quite of a Raven this time, but, you know, doesn't really need it either, you could say.
Yep, and here we go. We do see ByuN is going for that push out. He is able to kill one of these overlords. As soon as these two medevacs come out from that delayed starport, he comes out across the map. He's got stim, he's got a lot of marines, and we'll see what he's going to be able to do with this.
Yeah, Dark doesn't, or did I say Dark? Goddamn. I don't know why that was on my mind, but Rogue does not have the Baneling Nest quite yet, but he does have a lot of Zerglings coming out here. Will get us around on top of these marines.
Yeah, but again, Lings are not exactly what you want to deal with this, especially against a Marines with Stim. They are able to chase down every single one of these queens. One does manage to escape. No, not even.
Yeah, and he does have +1 as well to the +0 coming out here from Rogue. Oh my lord, how many Marines are still alive right now? My mouth is wide open right now. Like,
this is what
it is eight.
Exactly, and you know what? Rogue was just a little bit too greedy. Like, he had a Baneling Nest, but he didn't morph in a single Baneling, and now a couple of Hellbats are morphing in as well to reinforce, and that's it, GG!
W getting thrown out, just, oh, well. Not even well played, just, ByuN, you're well.
Just ByuN taking that W as he does go for that massive marine push that he's done in every single one of his TVZ series tonight, and Rogue just was a little bit too greedy. He had a 4th base on the way. It's the weird thing is that he spotted the move out like with his Overlord across the map outside the 3rd base of ByuN, and he had a Baneling Nest done. Like, he had Baneling speed on the way. He just didn't morph in any Banelings.
Yeah, I mean, hard to really blame for not morphing into Banelings, right? Because ByuN was being so aggressive as Marines, just taking out all of those Zerglings. I feel like it was one of those scenarios where it was, I could try to get a couple of Banelings out now, but I'm delaying. But what happens is I'm getting rid of some of the potential DPS that I have here, right? Right now, for potentially something that will help me out later on. And Rogue just wasn't willing to take that risk especially against someone like ByuN, someone who you know is going to be able to split a target fire against those Banelings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like Rogue, he just underestimated the push. Like, he had queens, he had Lings in position, like, yeah, just like what Solar did, like in his game against ByuN. Like, he just assumed that he had enough to defend. Like,
yeah. No one puts in the ByuN factor. Or none of the Zerg players put in the ByuN factor. And speaking of which, part of that ByuN factor is taking in air as we spawn in onto Oxide Ellie. We be oxidizing, we be breathing, and ByuN peak oxidation, you could say. No, wait, that's bad. In the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Terran player coming out from Korea. He is the Puppy King, the Ghost King, and the Pale Horseman. Currently teamless. On match point, we have ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player. Ooh, for the first time, one of these Zergs is not going for a hatch first. We do have a pool first opening coming out from Rogue. Oh my god, I said his name. It is, representing Gino Greenwings, Rogue.
We just pretend you didn't, like, sure, you said Rogue, but we'll just pretend that, we'll clarify.
It's fine.
It's our player. It's...
Yeah, I was just really caught off guard by the opener. Again, I do believe it was just a regular pool first. It wasn't like a 14 pool. I think it was a 16 pool. Oh my god. Now we see why.
That's not a regular opener. Yeah, that's definitely not a defensive opener. And ByuN, for the first time today, or at least in the series against Rogue, he's going Marine first. He's going Marine first. ByuN, you Reaper scouted every game against DRG. You Reaper scouted every game against Rogue so far tonight. This is not the time.
Yeah, ByuN is going to be punished for his greed because he is opting not to go for a Reaper Scout, so he's not going to be able to spot any of this.
Yeah, everyone back home, if you're rooting for ByuN right now, you just got a subliminally message. Throw a scan.
That's...
Scan them in.
Oh boy. All right, so we'll see what...
He's going 2-on-1.
Well, yeah, so far he is, and to be fair, he's going to have a decent amount of Marines, but the problem is that he's not going to be able to spot the roaches moving out across the map. There's no reason for him to throw down a bunker, and because of that, like, Rogue is potentially going to deal game-ending damage here. I can't see ByuN holding the low ground, but maybe he's going to be able to hold his main ramp.
Yeah, if you can retreat to the high ground, maybe get a bunker up there, quickly swap the add-ons with the with that factory going down. Maybe get a tank out as soon as he can. He's getting stim. He's getting stim light.
He is getting stim. Like, this is what the regular ByuN thing. He's just assuming Rogue is opening up macro. Like, a lot of assumptions are being thrown down on the side of ByuN, and Rogue is going to capitalize on all of that. We do have these roaches ready. We have a couple of Lings coming across the map to reinforce, a Ravager as well.
And ByuN sees it.
He sees it. He pulls back.
A panic flash in his eye. Oh, but that was a pretty good block with the SCV. It's dangerous with the add-on here, as there's already a Ravager out. ByuN getting a little bit, yeah, just fishing a little bit, seeing if he can sort of get that Ravager that's pretty low, that's still morphing in.
Yeah, exactly. There's that high ground vision with that Overlord, and now the first supply depot goes down. The reactor's going to go down. Another depot is exposed. If ByuN is forced to pull the boys...
That he is, and that is his one shot of trying to survive right now, but he's already lost 9 of them. Marauder not firing on what he needs to. 10 SCVs taken out, and to be fair, ByuN, he is still technically ahead in workers from Rogue, as this is a bit of an all-in.
Yeah.
Or not quite all-in, but you know, he's not making any drones behind this.
Yeah, but ByuN, he is down to 12 workers. It's important to note that he does have 2 CCs, he does have double mules available to him, but more Lings are just coming across the map. Surprisingly, Rogue is not letting up on this. Yeah, looking to just try and deal more damage. Oh my god.
Well, you realize he's really taking out the army supply from ByuN. So he's really just looking to capitalize on this, you know, push forward the momentum. And this is not looking good at all for a blue Terran player. I'm really worried that I really don't see a way that he turns this around. Starts something good though.
He is, and you know what? He has Stim available to him, but there's nothing to heal these Marines, and a tank does come out, but the tank is just going to get surrounded. ByuN, he's down to 6 workers, and again, we can't stress enough, this is why it was such a big deal that ByuN skipped the Reaper Scout. Reaper Scouting is so common in this matchup, but he avoided it, and GG gets called.
Rogue taking in the ace match after punishing some massive greed.
Honestly, he really rolled the dice there, because for every single other game in this series, ByuN went for a Reaper Scout. And if ByuN had done so this game, then he would have been able to scout and respond better, right? Like, Rogue, he was on match point. If Rogue lost that game, he would have been out of the tournament.
He would have, and then we would already have had our first finals going out, but no. Rogue really just ballsy here. We're just saying, yeah, you're not gonna scout me. I dare you. I dare you. What? And ByuN saying, you know, maybe I can just skip the Reaper this game. It's fine.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, ByuN, we'll see what happens here. Like, we're gonna be loading into game 5. Like, is Rogue gonna do something similar? Is ByuN gonna skip the Reaper Scout again?
Well, we'll have to see here on Lightshade. I feel like ByuN did have a pretty decent hold, all things considered, but you know, he was supposed to pull the boys, and they only had a limited amount of health they could tank or damage they could tank. So we'll see on Lightshade. Obviously, it's a very different map from Oxide. It's a lot longer. Has a much longer rush distance, but yeah, we'll see as we load into the final map of this best of 5 semifinals. The winner of this going straight to the finals, looking to face the winner of Dark versus Time. The loser of this, they're out. They will get a payout, but they're out. Snap, just like that. And in the bottom right-hand corner map, one of those players in the bottom right-hand corner the Blue Terran. We're coming down from South Korea. He is currently teamless, representing his dog, the Ghost King. It is ByuN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Jin Air Green Wings. This time, going for the hatch first, we have Rogue.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna be a lot more careful this time, and Rogue kind of knows that.
Yeah, so Rogue, he is opening up standard. Is ByuN gonna skip his Reaper?
And my eyes are wide open, or as open as it can be.
Okay, you know what? The fear has been put into ByuN. He is going for that Reaper.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, gonna be able to get that scout coming up. So standard openings coming up from both of our players, which I mean, it's about to be expected on a map like Lightshade, but can never be too sure when it comes to either Rogue or ByuN, can you?
Yeah, exactly. Like there was an opportunity there for ByuN to maybe skip it and go straight into that reactor, go straight into Marines, but no, he opted to play this safe, to play this as standard as possible. And yeah, you know, I'm sure a lot of that came down to what Rogue did in the previous game, right? Like Rogue just showed that he's willing to go for an earlier pull, willing to go for some early aggression, and ByuN, he has to be on his toes.
Or on his Reapers, shall we say.
There you
go. That doesn't really make sense. Alright, so we'll confirm that, yep, that is a natural hatchery. About the right drones for this moment of time. Just about. But that's actually quite a number of links coming out. No, actually, it's just 6. They were doing that illusion light where they like bunched up together to make them appear larger than they actually were.
They were
predators.
What is it? They were closest. They were too close to the mirror. Like
what?
Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, or whatever. One of those things.
They were like they were doing what zebras do, where they bunch up together. So then the lions, they look at the zebra herd and they think, "That's one massive goddamn zebra. I do not want to mess with that."
Yeah, they're like Tuscan Raiders.
Exactly. Clever gal.
I actually had something to say, but my mind just melted. Like, as this conversation went on, it's like, oh my god, what was I gonna say? Like, it's gone now. It's it.
You have to imagine that Zerglings. No, because Zerglings. Wait, are Zerglings predatory, or are they more herbivorous? Are they predator or are they prey? And if they're predator, do they hunt in packs or do they hunt individually? They probably hunt in packs, right? But if they're herbivores, they probably graze in herds, right? So if they graze in herds, then they probably bunch up together to hide their actual numbers.
So what I wanted to say is there were actually a decent amount of wings. Like typically, like in a ZvT opener, you only get 4. So it was odd that he had 6. Because you were right to say that there were more. Yeah. But you know, meanwhile, we do have ByuN going for this 1-1-1 opener. Actually, yeah, the third CC is still not thrown down, so just a regular old school 1-1-1 into a Banshee, and also on top of that, we do have an armory on the way.
Yeah, so this is going to be some Hellbats with Banshee support coming down, and we've seen ByuN use that to various effects in the past. Series against Solar, it didn't get it got a pretty good amount of damage done. But that wasn't quite what won him the game. I don't think he did this against CRG, and he certainly hasn't done it against Rogue, but yeah, we'll see what he can get done.
Yes, we shall see as the armory is done. Cloak is finishing up as well, so these Hellions, they are looking to morph into Hellbats. They don't have Marines to support like we've seen in previous games.
Yeah, which is a little bit scary here. They are looking decently exposed. There are a lot of Zerglings, and there are a lot of Queens, and look at the surround from the Queen's Light. These Hellbats are not long for this world.
Exactly, they get stuck on the ramp. The Queens are too thick, and it looks like all of the Hellbats are going to be going down. Meanwhile, it looks like the Banshee is trying to slip into the third base, but you know what? There's a Spore.
A Spore. Rogue has held this just about as well as a Zerg player can.
Oof, Jesus Christ. And ByuN, he's been here before, right? Like, this is why I know there are a couple of casters out there who it's like, yo, he's going for like a Hellbat timing. Like, that rarely works. Like, you expect a player like Rogue to be ready for something like that, and that's exactly what he was. He had so many queens to defend, had a handful of lings, enough to trap the Hellbats, and yeah, ByuN, he just hasn't really dealt any economic damage.
None whatsoever. I mean, got a queen, but what's one queen gonna cost in the grand scheme of things?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Like, there's still plenty of queens to defend. There are spores as well, and we'll see how ByuN is looking to transition out of this. Like, we have quite a number of upgrades on the way, not just 1-1, but also we do have vehicle armor on the way as well. Wow.
Interesting. All right, so really gonna be dedicated to, I mean, some kind of factory unit coming out. Maybe Thor's, maybe Widow Mines. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. I think I like this. Like, basically, it's ByuN. Like, he used the armory for the Hellbats, and because it did nothing, like, he has to get some value out of the armory, right? So just using it for upgrades, I guess, makes sense, because again, he has to do something with it.
Yeah, I suppose. And then, to be fair, it's not really affecting too much else either. I mean, he's still able to produce from all of his production buildings. He's still able to get expansions that are about the right time. So yeah, may as well try to find a way to spend your money.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes into play. Again, it's not something that we see too often, but again, the armory is being put to use, as we do see ByuN is looking to push out across the map with these Marines, with a handful of Widow Mines as well to support. Spire not quite done yet, Bailing Speed not quite done yet either.
And so we'll really have to see how well ByuN is gonna be able to push this. He does have a couple of Widow Mines, but that's never the most reliable form of AoE coming out here. I do kind of like the positions he's put them in, though. He's not being overly aggressive with his mines, just almost using them like tanks, trying to put them on the edge of creep, seeing if he can retreat to them. That's such a good use of Changeling, honestly. Just mapping out where the Widow Mine is.
Yeah, definitely. The problem is that ByuN, he took quite some time, so you know what? Bailing Speed is done, 1-1 is done as well for the Zerg player. We have 2-2 on the way. Spire is complete. I don't believe there are too many, if any, mutas out at the moment, but there's still quite a lot of Lingbane.
Yeah, well, he's about to get a lot of mutas coming out, and oh, these mines! Ooh. Beautiful connection to those Banelings in the back, and that gives ByuN enough momentum to start pushing in. Rogue has finished up more Banelings though, and now he's far deep into creep. ByuN is another fantastic connection, but now all the Marines have been lifted.
Oh, they have been lifted, and honestly, those were probably the best mine connections that ByuN could have hoped for. Like, every single one got juicy connections on those Banelings, but you know what? There was just enough for Rogue to push ByuN away, and now we do have mutas, we do have more reinforcing Banelings, like Rogue has been able to hold.
Just about. Now that the mutas have come out, this is now the time for Rogue to really repay the favor.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be looking to go across the map. ByuN, he's trying to do whatever damage he can here. Clear some creep, doesn't lose any Marines.
Yeah, about to be reinforcing these Marines as well. Doesn't quite have any Widow Mines there, which is a little bit worrisome. ByuN, where are these Marines going?
I guess. Yeah, I guess he's... I would assume he's coming back home just in case there's like a muta, like harass, at the third base or at the main.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe regrouping, and you know, he doesn't want these Marines to be meeting up with that drop force, right? Because there's just not enough space on the medevac. So send them home, let the Marines and the medevacs do whatever. Borrow being researched by Rogue.
Yeah, that's very interesting. We'll see if... Yeah, we've seen borrowed Banelings in, like, tonight, earlier today, but we'll see if they actually get used, because previously we just saw them borrowed and they didn't really do too much other than that. Yeah,
we kind of saw borrowed Banelings, but... Well, we had borrowed Banelings, but they weren't really Baneling mines.
Yeah, they weren't really utilized in that way. So we'll see if Rogue decides to do that, decides to style on his opponents a little bit with that borrow, or if it's just a misclick and he doesn't intend to use it at all. It's possible.
Yeah, it's definitely an option coming out here, as I am getting some flashbacks to game number 1 here. Rogue, I mean, he's got so many bases out on the map right now. He's spread his creep far and wide. And ByuN not really harassing too much. I think he's a little afraid of the Mutalisk coming out.
Yeah, honestly, this is pretty scary. Like, Rogue, his bases have been left alone. His, like, Hive is about to finish up as well. Like, ByuN has to do something. He has to try and apply some pressure and stop this, like, insane economy from Rogue, as it's basically getting into the swing of things.
Yeah, we're about to be getting into our late game, and we should be seeing a lot more skirmishes coming out right now from both players. Both armies are just about maxed out, or both players, I should say, just about maxed out. ByuN with a bit of an advantage. Hot pickup over here. But still a pretty good connection on that Baneling.
Oh yeah, I love this because you know what, Rogue, he had everything over here to the top, to the north of the map. He didn't have anything to defend to the south, so he's trying to pull Rogue apart, and so far it's working. Rogue actually going for the counterattack instead.
Yeah, he may as well. Not really confident in taking out the army, so instead going for where ByuN doesn't have an army, and it's looking super vulnerable. The entire mineral line just about going to be taken out right now, and I mean ByuN, I feel like he is willing. The base, 3-3 gets completely denied.
3-3 does get cancelled. You know what, Rogue, he lost all his links, but these mutants are doing so much damage. Meanwhile, to the south of the map, it looks like ByuN was able to take out a hatchery, so that's nice. But both engineering bays, both 3-3 for attack and armor, getting delayed, getting denied, hurts so much for ByuN.
It very much so does, and I feel like we have reached a point where ByuN is fine with sacrificing a couple of SCVs, but yeah, he really does not want to neglect his economy in that way. And with that upgrade lead that Rogue is going to take, that is just such a long time that ByuN can't quite be offensive, can't quite push into what Rogue has got.
I mean, but he has to do something, right? Like, ByuN was able to kill a hatchery, which is nice, but it's nowhere near as much damage as Rogue did, especially with those upgrades that are going to be kicking in, with 22 SCVs going down, and Rogue, he's just going for another massive counterattack.
Just like so. And ByuN getting picked apart right now, does not have the army anywhere near in position. Forced to back away and sort of retreat with the rest of what he's got. The Mutalisk coming in. Okay, not quite pushing into that many Marines.
Yeah, that would not be the right move to go for. Meanwhile, ByuN, he's rotating his army to the north. He's also expanding to the north as well. Rogue is trying to take a hatchery, but he does get taken out. There was a Widowmine in position. And yeah, it looks like the armies are kind of missing each other. ByuN focusing on the north and Rogue focusing on the south. Yeah,
pretty good split there from Rogue. And honestly, this is not Rogue's main army.
Yeah.
He's like pushing out in the map, and whereas ByuN, he is pushing out with the majority of his army, his main army, you should say. And is it going to be enough? Pretty good Widowmine hits, but the Baneling hits are even better. 2 Marauders at Thor, not going to be nearly enough to deal with those lings. And here come the Mutas back with a vengeance. Are they going to get the E-base again? They're going to get it again, right?
No!
Gotta repair the ByuN! Repair!
Oh my god, that was so close. That would have been devastating if Rogue was able to snipe the engineering base for a second time.
Get rid of 3-3 again, Jesus.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, Rogue, as we saw, was able to absolutely decimate ByuN's army to the north side of the map, and now we've gotten to the point where Ultras are out. 3-3 is done.
Oh, not quite the best connection there. But I mean, decent defense of this planetary. Not enough workers are repairing though, and it will be taken out. Meanwhile, ByuN pushing into the south. We have a decent force, a decent drop coming out, but is it too late right now to slow down the economy of Rogue? I fear that maybe.
Yeah, right? Like, there are just so many Banelings. There are, you know, Ultras are coming into play as well. Like, ByuN has to deal so much damage. He was able to kill one of the hatcheries, which is nice, but he's going to have to deal so much more than that. Maybe snipe another hatchery, get a mineral line. But Rogue, he's all over the place. He's ready.
Indeed, he is. Look at split up his forces, trying to just hit wherever ByuN isn't at. And he's borrowed, okay, there's slings. But I'm really impressed with what Rogue has been able to do in terms of vision. Not just in this game, but throughout the series. The changelings out that, you know, ByuN never really caught, and these medevacs are going to go down. These medevacs are going to go down. They have a lot of energy on them. You don't want those medevacs to go down.
Jesus Christ. Meanwhile, we do have the main armies clashing to the south. There are just so many Banelings.
Really good split from ByuN, but he's backed into a corner light. Hot pickup, and the mines do not even get to hit anything effective.
No, they do not. Meanwhile, Rogue is continuing to push here to the bottom half of the map. There's just so many Lings, Banes, and an Ultra, and ByuN is forced to lift up his base. His army is coming down to help defend, but so is the army of Rogue.
Exactly, it has, and so much AoE coming out here. But to be fair, Rogue is decently far off a creep, so ByuN just trying to see what he can get done with his micro, and getting a decent amount done. You know, that was a much more efficient trade from ByuN, but I'm just looking at the mineral bank right now, and I'm just looking at these mutas.
Right, these mutas, they've been alive for so long, they just deal so much damage, and I like this. ByuN, he has to go across the map. He has to try and deal some damage. He can't just keep going home and getting distracted by these mutas, but at the same time, the mutas are just doing so much. It's such a hard position to be in.
Here's the thing, both players are starting to get maxed out, and ByuN with the much bigger army. As long as he's able to trade efficiently, we may get a repeat of Pillars of Gold, where ByuN just keeps pushing in, and pushing in, and pushing in, and then Rogue really only has the mutas left.
Yeah, the thing is, he needs to push in though. Like, he is able to take one hatchery, but again, he's very tentative about stimming forward onto creep. Ooh, the Ultra's able to clean this up. Oh, but they're alone.
Yeah, they are very alone right now. And they do get taken out. ByuN still ahead in the army supply, still trading very efficiently over there. And Rogue, he stopped his counterattack.
Yeah, the mutas, they went home, but there are a lot of banelings. There are 3 Ultras. Is this going to be enough from Rogue to clean this up?
Yeah, they should just about be enough. There aren't too many Widow Mines out right now. There are a lot of Marauders. ByuN, I don't think you can fight here, but we'll see. Oh, even having to go into the banelings in order to hot pickup. And just like that, the army lead from ByuN is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You look at that friendly fire on that medevac light.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But you know what? Like, Rogue, he doesn't have too many banelings. He's forced to morph them in now, but there is this window. There's this opportunity for ByuN to continue to push and kill a hatchery, but he doesn't take it. He's being tentative. He actually pulls back.
He closes the window. He decides that's enough fresh air for today. I need it. It's cold outside.
Oh, God. Yeah, he does turn around, and you know what? That gives the opportunity for Rogue to counterattack and try and deal more damage with these mutas, able to snipe both Widow Mines before their shots go off.
Oh, boy. We got Magic Boxes here on the Mutalist as well. And now ByuN, his economy, his bases are in shambles. And what is he going to do with his army?
Goes home? What? Oh, God, he's gonna go home to try and defend, but that's not what you want to be doing. Like,
right now, ByuN.
Yeah, like, just everything is just going red for ByuN. He's trying to defend at home, but he's already lost 21 SCVs. He's like, what is there at home to really defend at this point? He is able to kill a hatchery over to the north, but oh boy.
Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. And now look at it. Look at the supplies we got, Light. Rogue once again gonna be equalizing in terms of the army count. Much better worker count. He can just continue to send wave after wave after wave of Zerg at his Terran opponent. And it doesn't matter if he trades efficiently or not. He's got the money to back it up.
That he does. The splits are decent, but you know what? The banelings, they did their job. The majority of the army did fall. There are still Lings, Mutas, and Ultras to clean up. And it was a well-fought battle, but Rogue, like, he's all over this.
He is all over the place right now. ByuN, I mean, he doesn't want to give it up just yet. He was so close to getting to the finals, and now he does not want to give it up, but I do not see a path to victory from here.
Yeah, he's macroing as best he can, and you know what? He is able to kill the Ultras, but...
That's all he wanted, really. GG is called. Oh boy, and with that, Rogue is going to be your finalist for the ESL Open Cup Pro Tour Asia Division, number 45. It looks like Ducklings time is still just about going on. So great, we should be able to get into that. Another very close TVZ going on there. And honestly, looking back at the series, ByuN had it, but he didn't Reaper Scout when he really needed to.
Yeah, that game was so unfortunate for ByuN, where it was on Oxide, he didn't go for the Reaper Scout, and it cost him the game, it cost him the series. Yeah. Oof, GG. GG, well played, well played. Rogue is able to take out very closely ByuN in that best of 5, and he advances to the grand finals where he will face either Dark or Time.
Yeah, one of the two. Both of them, I think, would be players who can give Rogue quite a bit of trouble, but it really will depend. I feel like Time, I mean, one of his nicknames is the ByuN of China, so is very similar in terms of micro and whatnot, but especially in recent times, he's been really showing off a lot more of his own style when it comes to how he plays, especially in the TVZ matchup, which we'll see if Rogue is able to deal with. Meanwhile, Dark, I mean, I feel like the elephant in the room there is that Rogue usually beats Dark, but recent times, Dark has been able to turn things around.
Yeah, we normally talk about how Dark isn't necessarily known for his ZvZ, but in the most recent GSL, like, he was able to knock out Rogue in that round of 16. So yeah, like, you know, Dark still has it in him. Personally, I would just love to see Time in a TVZ. Like, he's one of the players like ByuN who's very iconic with his style. Like, he's very micro intensive, he's all over the place, he's dropping, he's got Widow Mines everywhere. It's beautiful to see. So hopefully we can get into their series, and we can catch a little bit of Time here in the semis before we get to the finals.
What time are we getting? What?
Yes, exactly.